Welcome back to Coin Currency. Today we're counting down the top 4 most valuable and historic Lincoln 1-cent coins of the United States. These aren't just pennies, they're pieces of American history hiding in plain sight. Let's dive in. First up, the 1970 Lincoln 1-cent coin, minted in Denver, is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. This coin features the profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparro. The D mint mark, located below the date on the obverse, signifies that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. In 1970, the Denver Mint produced over 2.6 billion Lincoln cents, making it one of the more common issues of the time. Most 1970 D pennies are composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams, which was standard until mid-1982, when the composition changed to copper-plated zinc. From a historical standpoint, 1970 was near the end of the copper era for pennies, and although the mintage was high, this coin is still interesting for collectors due to its position in the timeline of small cent production. While the regular 1970 D penny in circulated condition is typically worth only its face value, or a few cents more for the copper content, there are exceptions that can raise its value significantly. Coins in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially those graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading services, can be worth between $1 and $10 depending on eye appeal, luster, and lack of wear. What really brings attention to the 1970 D cent among collectors are errors and varieties. Although most doubling in 1970 is associated with the Philadelphia minted coins, especially the 1970s small date doubled die, there are some minor errors known for the Denver issue as well, including off-center strikes, die cracks, and a few examples of machine doubling. However, these are not considered highly valuable unless they are dramatic and in excellent condition. Another area of collector interest is the coin's condition in original mint sets or rolls. If the coin has full original red color, as opposed to brown or red-brown from oxidation, it becomes more desirable. Red Mint State 1970. A D cents graded MS-66 or higher by PCGS or NGC can command prices from $15 to $50 or more, depending on market demand. Some exceptional examples have even sold for over $100 at auction. In summary, the 1970 D Lincoln cent is not rare, but it holds value for those assembling date and mint mark sets, and high-grade specimens can attract premiums. The 1992 D Lincoln 1-cent coin was minted at the Denver Mint and features the familiar design used from 1959 to 2008. The obverse shows the profile of President Abraham Lincoln, originally created by Victor David Brenner, and the reverse depicts the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparro. The D mint mark under the date indicates it was struck in Denver. In 1992, the Denver Mint produced over 4.4 billion Lincoln cents, making this issue extremely common in circulation. By this year, the composition had fully changed from the original 95% copper to a core of 99.2% zinc, with a thin 0.8% copper plating, resulting in a total weight of about 2.5 grams. Most 1992-D cents found in circulation today are worth only face value due to their abundance and modern composition. However, what makes the 1992 D cent notable among collectors is the existence of a rare and highly sought-after variety known as the 1992 D close AM. This refers to the spacing of the letters A and M in AMERICA on the reverse of the coin. Normally, circulation strike coins from this period have a wide AM reverse, where the letters are clearly spaced apart. But in a few rare cases, the 1992 D cent was struck using a proof-style reverse die that features a close AM, where the letters are nearly touching. This variety was not supposed to be used for regular circulation coins, making it a major mint error. Only a small handful of genuine 1992 D close AM cents have ever been confirmed, and they are incredibly valuable. One example sold for over $20,000 in a public auction, and others in high grade have commanded similar prices depending on condition and verification by a top grading service such as PCGS or NGC. Aside from this rare variety, standard 1992 D cents in uncirculated condition can be worth anywhere from 10 cents to a few dollars depending on grade, eye appeal, and red color designation. Full red coins graded MS66 or higher can sell for $5 to $25, while anything in MS67 or better can be worth significantly more if certified. In summary, the 1992 D Lincoln cent is a common modern coin with minimal value in circulated condition, but it holds great importance due to the rare close AM variety, which transforms a 1 cent piece into a 5-figure treasure if discovered in the right condition. The 1969 D Lincoln 1 cent coin is a common yet historically notable issue in the long-running Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which was minted from 1959 through 2008. This coin features the obverse portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. The D mint mark, located just below the date on the obverse, identifies that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. In 1969, the Denver Mint produced over 4 billion Lincoln cents, specifically around 4,2,832,200 coins, making this one of the highest mintage years in the series. These coins were made from the pre-1982 bronze alloy consisting of 95% copper and 5% zinc, and each weighs approximately 3.11 grams. From a historical standpoint, the 1969 D cent is not considered rare, but it is important to collectors working on complete date and mint mark sets. In circulated condition, these coins are extremely common and generally only worth their face value, or perhaps a few cents if sold in bulk to copper buyers. However, uncirculated examples can hold modest value. Coins in mint state 65, MS 65, can sell for about $5 to $10, and examples with higher grades and full red color, designated as RD by grading companies like PCGS or NGC, can fetch $25 or more depending on market interest. While most 1969 D Lincoln cents are ordinary, the year 1969 is also famously associated with one of the most well-known and valuable errors in U.S. coinage history, the 1969 S doubled die obverse. However, it's important to note that this famous doubled die is found only on San Francisco minted coins with the S mint mark, not on 1969 D coins. Despite this, some people mistakenly associate the error with the Denver version. As for the 1969 D coin itself, no significant doubled die varieties have been officially confirmed. Minor die varieties and errors such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or repunched mint marks RPMs exist for the 1969 D issue, but are generally of interest only to specialized collectors, and usually don't command large premiums unless the error is dramatic and the coin is in high grade. Like all pre-1982 Lincoln cents, the 1969 D is also of interest to copper hoarders due to its 95% copper composition. As of current copper prices, each coin contains about 2 cents worth of copper, though it remains illegal to melt pennies for their metal content. In summary, the 1969 D Lincoln cent is a high mintage copper-based coin with little value in circulation but modest collector value in high grades. Its primary appeal is historical, as it represents a peak in cent production and serves as a reminder of the broader Lincoln cent series during an era of high coin use in everyday American life. The 1981 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin is part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial Cent series and was minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the D Mint mark beneath the date on the obverse. This coin features the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909, and the reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, a design created by Frank Gasparo and introduced in 1959 to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. The 1981 D penny was struck during a transitional period in U.S. coinage history. It was among the last full production years where cents were made primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing approximately 3.11 grams. In 1982, the U.S. Mint began switching to a lighter, cheaper composition of copper-plated zinc due to rising metal costs, so 1981 D cents represent the final phase of the traditional copper alloy. The Denver Mint struck a massive total of 5,373,235,677 Lincoln cents in 1981, making this issue extremely common. As a result, circulated 1981 D pennies have minimal value, generally just face value unless in bulk for copper melt value. Though melting pennies for metal is illegal in the U.S., even in uncirculated condition, most 1981 D cents are worth only a small premium. In grades like MS-63 to MS-65, they typically sell for about 10 cents to 50 cents. However, examples in MS-66 or higher, with full red color, designated as RD by grading services, can be worth more, with some MS-67 red coins reaching $25 to $50 or higher, depending on demand. Errors and varieties are relatively scarce for the 1981 D cent, but some minor die cracks, off-center strikes, and struck-through errors exist and may sell for modest premiums. There are also some coins with small die variations or weak strikes, but nothing widely recognized as a major variety. A notable detail in 1981 is that it was the final full year of use for the Type 1 style mint mark, which was hand-punched into the working dies. In 1982, the mint began using a Type 2 or machine-punched mint mark, which created more uniform lettering. For collectors who appreciate minting history, this makes the 1981 D cent a symbol of the end of an era in both composition and production methods. In summary, the 1981 D Lincoln cent is a high mintage, end-of-copper era coin that is still widely available in circulation. While it holds little value in circulated grades, uncirculated red examples in higher grades are collectible. Its significance lies more in historical context than rarity, representing the close of traditional copper cent production and the shift toward more modern minting techniques in the early 1980s.